What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about social media and specifically whether or not it's a good idea for you to completely swear off of social media and stop using social media, and should you take a break from social media in general, really, I guess is what I'm going to talk about. Somebody asked me to make a video on this a couple of weeks ago, and I've kind of mentioned it here and there in a couple of the recent videos that I've made, but in this video I just wanted to kind of address it in a more direct way and just, I guess, answer the question: should you delete all of your social media? So, going to tell you right now, spoiler alert, I do not think that you should. I think that that is short-sighted, and I think that that is a bad idea, and I think that if you do that, then you're really limiting your potential. That's kind of redundant, but you're limiting your maximum potential in terms of, I guess, getting the most out of life. Let's just leave it very vague like that. What do I mean by that? Now, before I tell you what I mean by that, let me just say first that I think in general, even before this whole corona thing was a thing, I think it's a very good idea for people to limit the amount of social media that they consume, right? Don't fall into the trap, and everybody does it, and these companies are multi-billion-dollar corporations designed to do exactly this, but they are amazing at getting you to spend time on their site. That is the number one purpose for any social media website, any website in general. It's just that the social media ones, they kind of make money through advertising. So, okay, so let me break it down to you like this, right? Facebook is a business. And as a business, they make their money through displaying advertising to people who use the site. And the same could be said for Instagram, for Reddit, for YouTube, for anything. So these companies, they make money through showing you content that is advertiser friendly, that gets you to stay on the site. So they have learned, after using machine learning to analyze trillions probably of interactions at this point between individual users and their site, they've analyzed how to get people to stay on the site as long as possible. In fact, on YouTube specifically, one of the metrics that you'll hear people talk about is watch time. You want people to spend as much time as possible watching your videos, watching the biggest percentage of your videos, because then YouTube will show more of those videos to more people. Something I clearly struggle with. Anyway, the point is that, sorry, I just gotta say hi to my neighbor. Anyway, the point is this, is that these websites are designed to keep you on them and to keep you addicted to using them. So knowing this going in, I think it's a very good idea to preemptively make a commitment to say, I'm not going to waste too much time on these sites when I eventually go on them. Okay, I'm not saying I'm perfect and I never browse Facebook mindlessly, but I know that if I do, as soon as I open the page, I think to myself, okay, I've got 1 minute here to do something specific. Sometimes I stick to it, sometimes I don't, right? Same with Reddit. I don't, unless it's the end of the night and I'm in bed and I, nothing to do anyway, right? I'm about to go to sleep. Okay, fine. I'll scroll mindlessly. But in general, during the day when I've got stuff to do, and I recommend you do this as well, don't spend time mindlessly scrolling on social media. Now, especially now because of what's going on with this whole, pandemic, the world is shut down, everybody's stuck at home, so kind of what else are you going to do? Still, I do not think it's a good idea to consume social media in that way. How much do you really need to know about what's going on in order to live your life? I would argue that you don't. I'd make the same argument for watching the news, but that's another video. So that said, I do not think that you should delete your social media. I think that is short-sighted. However, how I think that you should use certain social media sites like Facebook, like Reddit, like Instagram, for example, is that you should try to build a presence on these sites. And that is obviously what I am trying to do. I'll just use myself for an example, right? On YouTube, right? I used to have an Instagram that I would upload a lot of content to on a daily basis. I used to have a blog. I used to have all kinds of stuff. YouTube is the one that I'm currently working on and the one that I have kind of stuck to the most, probably because I've invested the most time. But regardless of whatever type of, what your favorite platform is, or the platform that you choose to work on, you should choose, I would argue, you should choose to create some sort of content on one of those social media sites, either for a business, and if you don't have a business, start a business, a side hustle, sell your, recipes, anything, or just to say whatever you think about anything, like me. I think it's a good idea to do that. So should you delete all of your social media? I'm going to say no. if you are questioning whether or not you should delete it, I would argue that you are using it incorrectly, because here you have, you know, these companies have done the work for you for putting everybody in the same place, right? Everybody's on Facebook, everybody's on Reddit, or maybe not everybody, but these are like the top 10 websites in the world. They're all social media websites. So why would you not use them to your benefit? You have free access to the world's entire population, pretty much. And on certain sites, or on most of them, really, you can filter by what they're interested in and their language that they speak. You know, you can go, like, whatever, you're, I don't know, interested in knitting or something, right? You want to knit clothes for kids. You can go on any single social media website and you can find a community of people who are also interested in the same thing. And you can take what you consider to be your basic knowledge, the stuff that you take for granted, like you're a fish, you swim in water, right? That kind of like unrecognized like knowledge that you have, and you can give that knowledge to other people, and because they don't know as much as you know, they'll be like, wow, oh my God, that's so amazing. Thank you for telling us, whatever. Got it? So do not delete all of your social media. I think that is a mistake. If you find yourself wanting to take a break from certain types of social media, I think there's nothing wrong with that, you know, in and of itself. But I think that it's still a very good idea to, if you are kind of making that, like you're contemplating that, that's because you're not using these sites properly, which is to use them to produce content instead of consume content. Cool. So tell me, what do you think about that? Are you a social media producer or a social media consumer? Let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.